happening here, but what it is ain't exactly clear.
And we're not listening to that talk much longer, let me tell you guys. We're getting it right here on the Coyote Medicine Show. Hey, this very morning here on the Coyote News Network at 8:35 in the a.m. here in the Rocky Mountain High. That's Mountain Daylight Time if you want to know. I felt the earth move under my feet. And babies, I knew, baby, the old heart is blossoming through, man, even in the earth, don't you see? She's beginning to shake and tremble and rattle and rock and roll with us just a little bit, don't you know? It's about time she joined in the party, or we joined in with her, I should say, 'cause she's a partying chick from the word go. You gotta understand Mother Earth. She likes to shake her skirt a little bit. You know what I mean, Jelly Bean? She likes to get out there and flow with the motion of the ocean of love that is the music of life, playing real strong from that rock and roll band up there on the grandstand. You understand? See, she just wants to be there dancing with you, dancing with me. Oh, she likes dancing with me, man, and I like dancing with her too. She's foxy, man. Oh, man, I tell you, here's to Mother Earth and her rebirth on the dance floor, babies. The dance floor of life, the dance floor of love. And she just wants you to know, guys, just relax. It's just a little tiny tremor, man. She's just shaking it up a bit, settling it down a bit, you know. In fact, she's taking care of business the way mothers do, man, you know. And sometimes they don't always tell you what they're doing in the background. They just do it because they're mothers and they're up to it, you know. They're foxy little things. And, you know, they're sneakier than anything you ever dreamed of being, but they don't look at it as sneakiness at all. It's motherly. And you don't got to be, like, patted on the back for every little thing you do, 'cause you're a mother. You know it, you know, and you're happy in your heart when things work out, right? Well, Mother Earth feels the same, man, you know, and when she can, like, gently maneuver you from the background and then you get you out on the dance floor and shake you down and rock you with one of her soul sisters or brothers, oh, my goodness. That's when she begins to even the score. Yes, indeedy. And brings you up on the dance floor, and pretty soon you're flying across the sky. And just like I was back at that launch party. I mean, that must have been 25... No, it wasn't that long ago. It was 20 years ago, something like that. Wow. Time flies. But there I was, dancing across the skies with this buddy of mine, this friend of mine, the soul sister of the heart. I mean, she's the queen mother of love in that little valley, aside from my ex-old lady, who also resided there at the time. But baby, we were just, rocking and rolling, and wow. Partying across the stars, kind of the way we're starting to today. As you know, old Janice helped us along the way, and Jimmy, and just about everybody else you want to know. The Tunage here today is taking us back to where we ought to be, don't you see? Which is the moment of now. And April 20, 2008. We can't forget that's a date that's never late, because it was right on time where we experienced the divine, man. We'll continue that story as we carry along here on the Coyote News Network. Oh, but we don't give that one as news. We give that one as rhythm and blues, babies. It's a little tale from the mystical divine. And if you haven't heard a little slice of it here and there, well, you ain't been tuned in to where you ought to be, don't you see? You know, because otherwise, you know, then you just have to buy the DVD, and I'll make it available, and it won't be for free. I got to get me some wheels. And, you know, the day before yesterday, well, even today, a little gusty this morning, though, so probably not as good a day. But the day before yesterday, oh, I come down off this hill with this friend of mine not too long after the old medicine show was over with, you know, and son of a gun, I'm just feeling myself growing my wings and soaring up. It was perfect for it. It was one of those, you know, the air was just right. It had good density to it, you know, but it was like still, and it kind of crispy, the morning thing. Oh, and you could tell there'd be a little bit of thermal activity and tiny bit of ridge lift, the little, what do they call those clouds up on top of the mountains that indicate ridge lift there. They were up there, man, just starting to puff up a little bit. It was a perfect day for an ultralight. See, those things are kind of like little airplanes now. They used to be hang gliders with motors, but now they're kind of like little airplanes. And you can take off. And, you know, I'm looking at an electrical powered system of some sort or another, because I just think that's divine, you know. It's one thing I never liked about flying in airplanes was the smell of avgas and that doggone groany old motor, you know. I mean, it could be pretty smooth and it could be a friend and companion to you, and you had to make it such. But I was never comfortable with that. I like the pure feeling of flight I had when I was like 30 years old and flying off the tops of mountains. And once you got there and you got out in the ridge lift and started soaring and everything was just right, it was just you, the wind, and the sky and God, man, I'm telling you, wow. Now that's flying. You know, and I felt as I did that, you know, the old ancestors hanging with me, man. Everybody was like flying with me then. It was like I felt like an angel that had regrown its wings for real. Because I was doing things my ancestors could only dream about, you know. I had actually erected this little kite around myself, strapped myself to it, taken a few steps, and flown off like a little birdie off the top of a mountain. And did so the same way the birdies do, and got there in the ridge lift and started soaring upward, you know, and started looking for some thermal activity, etc., you know, so we could keep on trucking, you know. It's like, wow, now that's flying. You see, and so lately, you know, in recent months, I met some hang glider pilots there's a place here where they have competitions. It's a good valley for hang gliding. These mountains are awesome for that. Oh, I mean, in front of them. You don't want to get up over them. Pooh, bump you all over the place. But anyway, wow. And so these guys kind of rekindled my interest. I had to give up hang gliding because I knew I was going to kill myself. You know, it was just too risky a business, you know. And so I gave it up after a couple of years. But at least I got to do it, you know. And something got me through it. I'm alive and kicking and still okay. You know, but these guys have kind of rekindled my interest. I've flown off and on all my life, you know, airplanes and ultralights and hang gliders and, gosh, I can't remember what else. Probably even strapped a ragwing on my back sometime. I never have parachuted, though. I ain't done that yet. Don't mean I won't, you know, it just means the proper opportunity just never arose at the right time. And I guess I didn't feel that motivated to be it. But babies, it ain't going to be long before we ain't going to need parachutes, we ain't going to need wings, we ain't going to need ultralights or hang gliders. We'll be like the birds, babies. You know, we can just float and sail anywhere we want. In fact, we can rise through the dimensions of time and distance and no longer see them and no longer be them. Nothing separates us from anything. And we can be empowered in that way if we just allow ourselves to grow into that state of being, that state of awareness that sees it in that way. Then we're there already. And then time and space is ours in which to play. That's the fields of life. From this moment where we sit right now, that little child at the center of creation, surrounded by that sphere of love, you know. And this little child dreaming it all into being. Influenced, of course, by that motherly love that surrounds it, that nurturing, bring the child forward kind of love. See, the universe has begat each and every one of us. We are children of the universe. Ancient angelics, each and every one of us too, as children of the universe. Coming back to life for the first time in our presence since this history began. That's never been told. At least not in this ages and generations, but it's getting there. We're getting it out a little bit here, a little bit there, and you know, people are starting to remember. That's what we do, is cue one another, you know. So you cue up in me some ancient mystery, and I cue up in you the memory of it too. We're always gathered together in it that way. You know, it's the coyote thing, man. You know, it's always, that's the universal joke. I noticed this too when I first began my journey in Boulder and I was offering my services publicly on the street, you know, and was seeing things happen, and I noticed that it was like, wow. Oh, really so gathered together. I don't know how else to describe it, but, you know, you start to see the unity, the oneness, the equity in the hearts of the people around you. And even though not all of those could be conscious of it in that moment, you were, and it was like awesome. You know, and if you were, then in some way they are, you know, because we're all gathered together in this intelligence, you know. It begins with one step, and that step better be dancing. And it's some really righteous tune, like with tunage, like we play here on the Coyote Medicine Show. Doesn't that? I mean, goodness, today has been one of those days, ain't it, babies? Yes, indeed. So don't you worry if the earth shakes and bakes just a wee bit. You know, she's got to, relieve her anxious energy too. And like I said, sometimes she's just taking care of business in the background. And, this chick we know of is the hot chick over there loving you, that little country just a little north and east of Milan, up there kind of tucked against the Alps, little heart-shaped country with a little heart-shaped valley, with this little, probably heart-shaped, it must be, little hacienda on the hillside kind of thing there in Lavinia, given in European style. They call them a chalet, yeah. It's less than 150 rooms. Don't worry, she wouldn't overdo it, man. She's classy. She's elegant. She has a small staff, not a big one at all. But anyway, she's communicated with us this morning here, and she said, "Don't you worry, dear." This is what she says to me. "Don't you worry, dear. It's all coming clear. Mama's going to shake her fuzzy back a little bit. Don't have a heart attack. It's all here. It's all love, don't you see?" Then she pinched me on the cheek like a little kid and says, "See you tomorrow, baby." I'm like, well, how come I have to wait till tomorrow? So you divine angels, take flight. Yes, indeedy. Because inside your heart you got it right. And the Coyote News Network is helping you get it there, okay? So, babies, I can't help it. I'm a talking head. I tend to meander around, especially when I don't have a monitor to read off of. I am what you say I am, and I will say what you order me to. Thank you. I have to pick up, what I do for total inspiration is I pick up this little instruction manual from one of my printers here, and I pretend that it's a news sheet that I'm reading off of, and it really inspires me, and then I can really give the news like it comes right off the teletype at the bottom of your screen, hotter and faster than the man can report it. Oh, that's the Coyote News Network Coyote News Network way, man. We just like to stir it up, mix it up a little bit. I mean, news should be informational now, for one, shouldn't it? I mean, it should be about something that's happening, right? Okay. And not something we conjured up and want to happen, and we're trying to influence you to do that. Of course, we might do that in a very positive sort of way. We might influence you to gather with your heart today and, embrace yourself with the most romantic intimacy you've ever felt in your life. We might encourage you to do something like that today along the way. Yes, we might. We might encourage you to come back to life and to be awake and present in the creation which surrounds you, to know the true integration of love that's going on inside of yourself. To see that ancient baby cry being answered and fulfilled. We've never been gone from her, babies. It was a dream, and we're awakening from it now. And Mama still loves us. Yes, indeed. She's right beside us. She's got her heart in our hands, basically. Because she's holding our little hands. Come on, child. Time to wake up now, honey. Sun's a rising, roosters a crowing. Down below I got coffee a glowing. You better get up, kid. Let's go party today. What do you say? Ain't that a kind mama? It's the best, man, the best. Absolutely. And of course the hot chick is her representative, her personal representative here on earth in an administrative capacity, of course. But understand, she is very inelegant. She just likes to be sedate, and just let the energy speak for itself, you see. That's the hot chick in you. And maybe someday there'll be a hot chick inside of me, too, man. Maybe I'll finally set myself free. Oh, God, I'm feeling liberated already, babies. Springtime in the Rockies, sometimes it'll get you high. So says Grandpa here as we take off and fly at 8:53 in the a.m. 9,000 feet high in the Rocky Mountain sky and Rocky Mountain time zone 2, babies. Take it away, Starship. Oh, aren't they good here on the Hazy Radio Network? Oh, darlings, don't you just love them? Oh, please sing to me.